Jesus,
jobs,
and food.
Hey, this is Lance with True Belize. So, we've made it to another Friday. Let's jump right in and take a look at where the Lord actually led us versus what we had planned at the beginning of the week. We were going to unload the van. We were working on having a trip up to Orange Walk where we were going to take Adita for a follow-up scan of her arm from the nasty fall and break that she had taken back in December. We had planned that we were going to try to get plantain leaves into the garden so that we could put compost in the walkways. We also had planned that we were going to do a youth activity later in the weekend area. And we had this big conundrum going on about Miguel's family and us making it down to Stand Creek and how the Lord was really going to work that out for us. So let's go with what actually happened. Thank the Lord I was able to get the shelves built in the kitchen. The van did come and we were able to unload that. I had a trailer and the van. I ended up unloading the trailer, and on that day, Natalie and the girls were able to go over to Rafi's and help sort out clothes for Compassion Belize to give out to some of the families and kids here in the local area. Then on Tuesday afternoon, I ended up going to Jacob's farm, and in the midst of that, Natalie and the girls ended up at Momma Ellis to help cook for a mission group out of New York. When we switched, because Natalie and the girls had left and they had taken the vehicle, they came back, and then they were able to unload the van and start putting things away. Now, I ended up having a really nice visit out at Jacob's farm where we had some fellowship and with some of the guys there, and then Ismail and myself went around and looked at some projects that we might be able to lend a hand out on. And so that brings us into Wednesday, where we actually took Adita up for her MRI to Orange Walk, where the news wasn't all that great, but it was fairly decent. She's able to move 2 of her fingers or 3 of her fingers on her hand. She has some mobility issues as far as moving her arm, but the doctor was hopeful that with physical therapy that she would be able to regain some of that mobility. So we are we're straight up asking for you all to continue to pray for Adita, and that the physical therapy would work, and that she would regain, full use of that arm and be able to go back to her job, which she so desperately needs and wants to. The next day, we were over at Desi and Rafi's house again. Natalie and the girls worked on tamales, and Rafi and I were working on cleaning out the tool shed and equipping a tool trailer for the mission groups as they come. In the past, we haven't had a trailer to be able to move the tools back and forth, and so they get scattered out all over the place. Well, the Lord has blessed that ministry, and there's a enclosed trailer that we put some shelves in and started loading the equipment in, and ultimately looks like it's going to work out well. We'll be able to take it to the job site, leave it there, lock it up, and be a lot more efficient. So kind of brings us to a dinner that we had with one of the mission groups that was here. It was about 70 doctors. They had a meet and greet for some students that were getting scholarships. So that was over at Blues, and it was a pizza party. Kind of get to know the kids, what they've been able to accomplish, and then also just to interact with some of the doctors and to inspire some of these kids to go ahead and to keep on and to push for their their education, continued education. We ended up, like I said, we got the vans, so what that meant was we have the Gaga Ball pit. So our youth activity while we were um, while we were playing in the Gaga pit, and we had a short devotional about Sarah, and it's a wonderful story and it's really pretty long. So what we decided was we would break that up into two different lessons. And so this next week we're going to hopefully get the second part of it done. But we were able to have some really good conversations, some wonderful interactions and questions from the kids. It's just nice to see kids that are interested in hearing the stories and really truly want to hear what has happened in the past. So, some really exciting news. While we were in the process of editing this video, the Lord has opened up a door that is going to allow Miguel and his family to make a trip up to Corozal. And the amazing news is that they're going to be able to see this medical missionary team that we've been helping out throughout the week. So, as always, if you enjoy this content, please share the word.